Okay, hello. How are you? I'm just going to give it a minute for the algorithm to warm up here. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope I don't look too blurry and your screen. I hate that when that happens. Uh, Hi, how are you? Drop me in the comments if you're joining me. Say hello. Tell me who you are, what you're up to today. Today, I can tell you what we're going to be doing. We're going to do 101 ways because we always do 101 ways on Friday. 101 ways to make money in real estate. We're working our way through the list, right? Today, we've got number 33, which is called Put Your Logo On, and number 34, which is Preview Properties and Leave Your Business Card. Okay? So let's get started with topic number one. Put your logo on. I love that. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Let me give you an example of what I'm thinking about here. If I were to name a particular rock band from the 70s, do you think you might recognize it if I said the word Kiss? Right? Raise your hand if you know what Kiss is in terms of rock and roll bands, right? I hope I'm not aging myself here. But Kiss was one of the very few rock and roll bands that managed to merchandise themselves so well. And if you know who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, say yeah, because I'll tell you what, Kiss put their logo on just about anything and everything. All right. And today their brand is timeless. Okay. Now, I'm not, of course, suggesting that you put your brand on everything like Kiss did, right? But your logo is your stamp of approval, I think, and it's your calling card. It's your brand awareness. It's you know everything that encompasses what you're trying to do and offer. Hopefully, it speaks the vibe of your business, and um, it defines you almost. Okay, so let's talk about the logo itself then. Uh, Put your logo on. Like I said, where do you put your logo, and what are some things that you can think about doing differently with your logo? Okay, a lot of marketing has needs a lot of thinking outside the box if you want to rise above the noise. So, in terms of logos and real estate logos, what are some things that you can do differently? Okay, let's take a look at QR codes, maybe, right? QR codes, I think, are just starting to kind of come about in popularity more so than they have in the past. And I think the pandemic, of course, had a lot to do with that. People didn't want to touch anything anymore. So the QR code, I think, really stepped up to the plate during the pandemic. I saw a lot of that being used on restaurant menus and that kind of stuff. But what if you had, you know, your QR code instead of your logo on the back of your business card? Do you think you might drive some traffic there? Or what if you had your logo on a round business card that maybe you left in a restaurant? Do you think that's going to draw more attention than the typical business card? See, these are some things that you could think outside the box on. I've got a shirt, of course, that's got my logo on it and it says, I'm your home girl. That's my showing shirt. People like to put logos on their clothing. And of course, when you do that, it makes your clothing tax deductible. Okay. So put a little logo up there and say, thank you, IRS. All right. So there's a little few ideas that you can bounce around in your head, some different things that you can do with your logo. Okay. And then another number 34 is to preview properties and leave your business cards. We're going down this list of 101 ways to make money in real estate, and these are just little tidbits. None of them is going to uh, be earth shattering, but the little tiny things that you do consistently really, really add up. Okay. So, I know we like to leave our, I don't know if it's become normal or not normal anymore to leave your business card after you've shown a house or after you've visited, a FISBO or something of that nature, right? When you go to preview properties, lots of times, we buy properties ourselves. So when we talk to FISBOs, we talk to them in two different directions. We either want to look at it for ourselves to purchase, or, we may have a buyer for it. And then we're going to leave our card. That's typically all we'll do. I'll come in, preview it. We either click or we don't. I don't necessarily sit down and beg for the listing or show them what I can do, but I'm looking at that property. I'm looking at it from a buyer's perspective. I'm giving them a lot of information, and I have found that to be very effective in building relationships with FISBOs. I don't go in the door looking for the listing. I go in the door with the eyes of a buyer. So try that. Maybe that's a little bit of a different twist. But think in terms of your business cards that you leave on all of the properties that you do show. What if you did, again, something different with your business card that stands out? Now, we don't like to think in terms of that as a marketing tactic, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have never, I think it's happened about 3 times in my career where the seller at the tail end of the listing was disgruntled with their listing agent and had collected all of those cards and went back and circled back and asked for feedback after the listing had expired and hired me. Okay, so today, yes, I still leave my business card when I preview homes because you never know who's going to put eyes on it. Okay? All right, so that's just a little hack for you. If it's not become, if it's become, something that we don't do anymore, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are doing out there when you're showing property. I don't know what your brokers are teaching you to do. It's kind of, I heard somebody say that in a group the other day that it was old school to leave a business card at a showing. Does anybody even have business cards anymore? The conversation went on to say, a lot of them are done electronically these days. You can't leave that piece of marketing material if it's an electronic business card, okay? You can't leave that on the table when you're previewing properties. All right, so that's something to think about, okay? What kind of a message would you give subliminally to a seller if you were to create a particular business card that you left only at homes that you previewed? For example, I will be providing feedback to your through your agent. So look for that information from me, something of that nature, something to give them a heads up that you provide a level of service that they may or may not be receiving and would maybe like to have. Okay, so think about some things you can do differently in that respect. All right, have a good weekend. I'm going to say goodbye. I got a lot of things on my plate this afternoon, so I'm going to let you go and have a great weekend and go sell something. Okay, talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Well, I'll be in your replay. I'll put this replay in your email tomorrow, so maybe you'll see me tomorrow. Bye-bye.